stage. You just need like 4 or 6 because there's not going to be a lot of support units for the Protoss players. So those are the things that I like to do, but Fox being very interesting here.
And on that note, it seems like Fox is just kind of reading it. He does have that observer there, so he sees what's going on. Yeah? Double upgrades coming down, +2, +1. But he's also getting the Twilight Council, and I would postulate that that's probably for Blink, expecting that there's going to be those Vikings.
Yep. Yeah, and Double Forge here too. I mean, he got scanned, so I think what he was doing, and I'm not completely certain on this, but I believe he did this opening and said, okay, if he doesn't scan me, I'm going to jump all over him. You know, if he doesn't scout that this is coming, he'll just die. You don't naturally defend this timing attack. But with that scan, he's in a really cool spot that Protoss do and Terran and Zergs complain and cry about mutually. And that's that, you know, everything about his opening was like, hey, I'm coming at you. It's going to be like a 12-minute timing attack. But instead, he's going for a third Nexus, Double Forge, and Twilight Council all at the same time. And now his army becomes very small. Still potent. Like, he's going to be able to hold off this pure Marine harass very easily. But he's not going after him. To Noblesse's credit, though, he drops a third CC as well, and he's not biting it either. He's like, if that timing attack comes, I'm screwed, I guess, but it's not happening.
Oh, but he's kind of stepping out here right into the Colossus. He sees those 3 Colossus there with that 1 Sacrificial Marine coming out, so he's just going to kind of hang out. It looks like, is he maybe trying to get a hit on that Observer there as he's just kind of dancing around out here.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Both these players are very intelligent. They're showing that because, well, random Guardian Shield here actually hurting my point, but for the most part, okay, he's going to come up here and find the Marines. They're going to have to back away.
I mean, it's just in case there was a Widow Mine there or something.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay, that was horrific. But Noblesse and Fox are doing kind of an eloquent little dance, and both of them are not over-responding to each other, so a lot of instinctual play here, but so far, while that is risky, it's been sound. Both of them are making the right decisions, other than, again, a little bit of a miscontrol here from Noblesse and that army.
We're talking about a man after your own heart. I got a pretty quick storm going down here from Fox as well, and that is one of my favorite things, especially since, you know, he's seen that it's going to be a only bio army. I mean, he saw the factory just hanging out over here, so you know that nothing more is going to be coming out of that. So getting Storm, Colossus, Stalkers here, it's going to be pretty gross against this all bio.
Yeah, that's the combo. That's what we go for as Protoss players to try to get the big win here. Noblesse is going to poke and prod, but he's going to be pushed back by the Colossus. Notice inside the base, we have cannons, Templar, as you pointed out, with early Storm. He's actually skipped both Blink and Charge. At this point, I'm not sure if that's on purpose or if it's becoming a mistake. We'll have to wait and see. But to your point, with Colossus and Templar and all this defensive play from Fox, he is completely buttoned down. This guy is in zero danger of dying. And with Fast Storm, he's also in a really good spot in case Noblesse wanted to do an SCV shove. But we can see that for the most part, what I'm seeing coming out of Noblesse, that would be really weird and random, and I don't think he sees any timing for that.
There's a medevac here that's just kind of chilling out on the 6 o'clock position on the map. It looked like he was kind of gearing up for a drop, but kind of stopped. There's a Templar here that could get a pretty big feedback on this since energy's at about 3/4, and 2 cannons finishing up as well. But, I mean, how do you think that, I mean, Fox has been pretty much able to defend, and he's defended pretty well, so, I mean, does that give him the upper hand here?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look at this, the double medevac drop gets kind of split up. They try to go to each base, but each base again completely shut down. So this harasses. I mean, and I'll tell you what, it's disheartening for the Terran too. He shows up to cannons and Templar already. Yeah. No Terran looks at that and says, "Well, I'll just be back with another drop." Surely that's what it'll take. Well, and they know that you can't drop. So to your point, who has the edge? You got to give Fox the edge here. He's safely secured 3 bases, which is that kind of gold number for Protoss. He's got Storm and Colossus. He's been working with Double Forge, so he's slightly ahead in upgrades with Chrono Boost here. Well, actually, that's arguable. It's pretty comparable in terms of upgrades. So I looked at Noblesse and I say, look, you got to take a fast fourth and you got to be out in the map, but that's a hard task. He's trying.
It looks like Fox is starting to move out here, and it looks like he's kind of keying in on timing here with +2/+2 finishing up. Blink is finishing up, and also Storm is done. He's got a money number of Colossus, and honestly, he hasn't really pushed a whole lot, and Noblesse almost looks like he's not sure exactly what to do.
No, I mean, and look at back at home. At the natural, there's 4 frickin' Templar, 5 Templar. If you look at the one at the top of the natural, just kind of gaining energy. Still the one in the main. And even a few at the third. So what I like about this is Fox is taking Templar to the front lines, but he's not hinging completely on that. Like, one big EMP would typically shut down a big Protoss army, but In this case, there's going to be Templar for days, and now even 2 more Medivacs getting caught. And he knows he's in a tough spot. He needs to go north, because if he tries to go into the main, he'll get feedback there as well. So you're taking Harass away from the Terran, and that's like one of their strongest tools. Noblesse was never able to get it done. And I'll tell you, to gush even more about Fox, I like that he did this, because in response to CC first, which gives up the first 10 minutes of potential harass time, this is punishing a CC first really hard.
There's a ton of storms here. I mean, if he keeps these Templars spread out and avoids the ghosts, which are on the field, I mean, he's going to have like 8, 9 storms here out of these Templar.
And it really only takes like 1 or 2 to win a fight against Terran, so it's insane the amount of insurance he has. But he is coming down the ramp. There are some ghosts there. Blinks forward. Big EMP, but it doesn't get all the Templar. Actually, it gets all but 1, so a very good EMP there. And a nice split from Noblesse. The Vikings doing what they can. The Colossus are gone. Great concave from the Terran. So I'll tell you what, we were gushing about Fox, and maybe that's where you can make the argument that my racial bias comes through, because Noblesse, he surgically picked that apart. The Vikings did their job. The Ghosts landed the EMPs on every single Templar but 1. Are you freaking kidding me? I was just saying how great Fox was for being so safe. And he's got Templar in the backfield, so he's not dead. But that assault was definitely a Noblesse win.
Well, but now he's pushing it in. I mean, that was just a really bad angle to attack for Fox, it seemed like. And Noblesse certainly was prepared for it. He did lose a few Vikings, but he still does have those. The Colossus numbers are definitely lower than they were, with only 2 Colossus, a handful of Templar, and lots of Zealots. Trying to put down a 4th base on the left. That's going to be easily taken out here by Noblesse. But Fox trying to push in, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, really smart here from Noblesse. Noblesse shows up, says, oh, okay, you are taking a 4th, because behind this, remember, Noblesse took a very fast 4th for his own, so he can just go ahead and dump mules there, all day long. In fact, it's partially mined because of the mule dumping, and he can mine gas off that. So he moves over, picks off the 4th base of Fox, and says, okay, as long as I don't get stormed to ever-living crap, I'm in a great spot. I'm ahead economically on this Protoss player, and I just killed a bunch of gas in the previous fight. So all of a sudden, Fox, he now has to come out of his safety and go for this fight.
And here it is, the Zealots running up right on the Bio Army. The Templar coming in from the left. Is again, nice. 2 nice storms go down, but really good splits coming out from Noblesse. A 3rd storm hits just a huge number of Marines, but the Colossus go down. The Stalkers not able to really clean it up, but some Zealots come out from the side, and a Colossus reinforcing, but there's still a couple Vikings there, but not going to be able to get the Colossus down. So that was actually a fairly even fight.
Fantastic micro for Noblesse, picking off all the Stalkers. The Zealots were coming in hard, and they were always going to win that fight, but he's able to pick off the threat to his 1 Viking getting that Colossus kill. And he also goes after gas. That's a storyline you have to keep in mind. Every time you kill Stalkers and Colossus like that, that cuts into the Protoss' ability to just go ahead and ditch Templar in the backlines. A bit of a mistake happening here, too. If you look at the natural of the Protoss player, he only has 1 probe on one of the gases. I hate to be that guy that picks the thing, but when you're already losing fights like this, that's actually the stuff of legends in terms of really hurting you.
And he does have +3/+3 done, +1 shields is about to finish, and we notice also a lot, there is quite a bit of energy stacking up on the Nexi. The 3rd base Nexus is full, natural is almost full, but there's a little clutch force coming into the natural expansion as he scans, but going to be a good warp in here, going to shove this away.
This I don't like, actually, from Noblesse. Like, it looks like he should get away just fine, but that's all his Medivacs. So if he finds himself in a bad spot and gets feedbacked a bunch here and then blinked under,
he wants to
just in the name of harassing with 5 or 6 Marauders, like, that's quite silly. But I'm not going to nitpick it too much because it looks like it's going to go away just fine. A little bit of harass over here at the 4th. And that, too, seems to get shut down. Storm just finishing off the Medivac, and now 2 Marines will die to Storm as well. And harass in the main. Yeah,
drop in the main base. 1 feedback does go down on a Medivac, but doesn't kill it. But there is a lot of Marauders here doing quite a bit of damage to these Zealots. Can't really get up on the army here before the concussive shell slows him down. But he's responding with his entire good portion of his army just to shut down this 1 drop.
Great harass again, even targeting the Stalker. He didn't get it, but he's threatening it again. And this is such a positional win, because if you look at the left side here, a lot of Storm coming in. They're going to need to be hot. Storms do go down, and it will get pushed back. Great control from both players. But I really like what I'm seeing from Noblesse's mid to late game here.
You were doting early on Fox's defense early, but I mean, it seems like it's breaking down a little bit, and where is that?
Well, it's because of Noblesse. I mean, you guys kind of talked about his ability to multitask and drop plane. It's being on display right now. This attack again moves to the left side, this time without the Templar.
Actually baiting a storm on his own probes.
More coming in, though, yeah. But look at that. Noblesse gets out just in the nick of time. Meanwhile, he's being slightly annoying at the third. But all the while that this is happening, he's banking up a massive army. He's rebuilding his Vikings to take out the Colossus. I don't see a lot of ghosts, just the 3. That's my one big point of concern. He's very Marauder heavy. So these kind of just generic charge lot spam is pretty good. Whereas if you have, 20 plus ghosts, you can't just do that. They'll get EMP'd and sniped.
I mean, it just seems like the Colossus number for Fox now is just a bit too low. It looks like he's got 3 here, and a decent number of Templars that are actually at full energy. But
shit, Templar, man. Oh, okay, just made more Archons. Never mind. He had a lot, though.
But yeah, I mean, Noblesse here is approaching 200, and Fox is at 200. So I mean, these are pretty much the armies they're going to have. Upgrades are pretty much the same, 3-3 on both sides with the shields for Protoss.
Oh, these Templars so far ahead of the army. I don't know what they're doing by themselves. One Storm's going to have to just kind of save their life. Now, what really worries me for Noblesse, he landed an epic EMP in that first fight, but he only has 4 ghosts here, I believe. 4 or 5, something like that. But if any of these Storms land on this army, for all the great micro and harass from Noblesse, he could just lose the game right here. Because to your point, this is their army, and they have somewhat of a bank behind it. Well, hold that thought. Here we go. Oh, Cloak is revealed. There's no detection.
I was just about to say that there's no observers here, so he could cloak those ghosts and just run right in and EMP whatever he wants.
Oh, he whiffs on the EMPs a little bit. Storm's hitting the Bioforce, and all the Vikings get bunched up and die, and this is what I was worried about. There's still Storm here available. This army's deep orange and red. A lot of AoE here, not in Colossus, but in Archons, and he's going to make a stand of it.
Still a nice Storm, not catching as much,
concave here.
Yeah. But the Cloak Ghosts, though, I mean, they're just going to kind of hang out until their energy runs out because there's no observers here, and he's not even making any. Colossus still coming down as well as more Archons. But, I mean, Noblesse is pushing back on this.
Yeah, he's pushing back, and if this 4th base dies, the Protoss hopes do with it. Big warping of Zealots. A lot of medevacs here still. They have decent energy. There's this big Storm coming in. That was okay, but there's enough medevacs where basically they get to kind of ignore it as long as they kite out of underneath it. And I'll tell you what, we're not seeing a lot in the way of reinforcements from Noblesse, but what we are seeing is maybe too much, because there's not, we talk about not a lot of reinforcements for Noblesse. Fox has almost nothing.
Yeah, and Fox is just warping in Zealots. I mean, he's pretty much broke on the mineral front. It's a ton of gas, but he just can't catch a break to actually warp in those gas units to not have them just hang out and die.
Yeah, he's still holding on, though. Another Colossus is coming over here. There are no Vikings, but there's, obviously enough Bioforce and a lack of
That's a terrible missed rally, is it? Is it a terrible missed rally? That one Colossus just kind of going out on the right side there.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. I think it doesn't matter for the most part, but it is tragic to watch. Drags a couple of guys down to hell with him, but it's now 1 mining base for Fox. He's exhausted all of his Templars, been pulling them out of, the cushions of his couches and stuff like that, but he's ran out of everything, basically.
Pretty much just Colossus and Archons now for Fox, and just the stimming Marines pretty much are taking that out pretty good, but 3 Archons, 1 Colossus come down the ramp, and wow, the concave from Noblesse is just sick, though.
Yeah. Excellent control. It looks like there's a chance this will get pushed back for now, but the damage is done.
Those Archons are actually getting a decent number of those medevacs down. Now he's down to only 2 here?
Yeah. But he's never going to stop. I mean, look at the mini-map. There's just blue coming across. Yes, these Archons are here, but they're getting picked off. Even SCV's joining in the fray. I'm not quite sure why you would pull the SCVs now, but he is. He's just like, you know what? Let's just throw as much as we can at him.
Well, Army supply is 77 to 29 here in favor of Noblesse, so pretty much all he has to do is just rally across the map.
Yeah, he's been trying to build this critical mass of Colossus, but each Colossus that steps out, there you go, it gets sniped immediately. And he had a big AoE ball of Archons, but it just took an EMP or 2 to soften them up into pillows, basically.
Oh, probes getting pulled now.
Probes.
So, I mean, seeing this, where did Fox go wrong?
It's tough to say. I mean, well, the big fight, I guess, is where you start to talk about kind of the Jenga tile that was pulled out from his tower. He goes down a ramp, gets, 6 or 7 Templar EMP'd at one time, whiffs on the Storms, and then a great concave from Noblesse means that we're looking at 4 dead Colossus, 7 Templar, and their assortment of friends, Stalkers and Archons, that kind of thing. So from that point, Fox also then got out on the map because he felt the pressure of the 4th base from Noblesse and was just shaving off really important gas units from his army for the rest of the game.
Also, Noblesse now running away from the Colossus Probe army here of Fox. And looks like he's going to be coming back. He's just, I mean, it's just been constant 10 minutes of solid pressure here is what's ended up. Oh no, 2 Templars working their way down the ramp.
Tap out. It is over. Noblesse is mining out his third, which is kind of silly. He should have maybe floated his main orbital to a fourth or something like that, but he's just...
Fox is in denial right now.
And, you know, in his pants or something like that. Like, he's just like, okay. Waiting for Fox to... Yep, there it is. Out.
I think that was a GG. We'll see.
It is. Jaedong once played on my stuff and had my keyboard set to Korean, and that is what it comes out to. It was actually funny. I was playing the European ladder, and I was trying to say good luck, have fun to a guy, but it came out Korean. And he's like, don't type Korean. You're faking, you idiot. And I'm like, oh, I can't, there's nothing I can say because it all just comes out Korean. And my instinct, he actually beat me, which made it even worse at the end, was to say GG immediately, and it came out that.
So it's going to be definitely a longer game. That's definitely what we were asking for. And gosh, it was a decisive, you know, and we were really doting on Fox going through the game. You know, I was curious what you thought exactly. I mean, obviously the turning point was when Fox moved in that engagement. I don't understand why he engaged down that ramp like that.
Well, you know, you bring up a really good point, and it's funny because I will defend it. I have no shame in the fact that the beginning of the game, Fox deserved our